Hey Trainer Vikings. So here's what you are going to do for your test for ancient Egypt. You, my wonderful people, are going to create a booklet explaining some of the things that you learned. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Let's go over the explanation, okay? So all of you should have this paper. If you do not have this paper, it is right here on Teams where it says create Egyptian booklet document, okay? So you follow the directions, you're watching the video first, and now you're going to prepare all of your answers. So your booklet is going to have 4 pages. Your first page is going to be the title page. Your second page will be about the social pyramid, and then pages 3 and 4 are topics that you get to choose, okay? On your document, it says you are going to have the title page, which is required, has your full name, the title, and at least 2 pictures relating to ancient Egypt. There's an example right here. It's the same example that I held up. So you've got the title, you have 2 pictures, and you have your full name. For page 2, it has to be about the social pyramid. And you're not just copying down the social pyramid from our social hierarchy activity. You are also picking one specific profession from that social pyramid, and you're going to explain why that's important. That's worth 5 points. Copying down the social pyramid by itself is worth 5 points. And then for 10 points, you are going to answer and explain how did the ancient Egyptian society rely on the work of the lower class. Friends, that's a big question, so you're going to get 10 points for answering it, okay? And then those are the only 2 pages which are required. Pages 3 and 4, you get to write about anything you want. You can write about architecture, you can write about religion, you can write about trade, or anything else that you want that has to do with ancient Egypt. It just has to be okayed by us. For each one of these things, what you are going to do before you get started making your paper booklet is you are going to answer and gather all of your information. So you are going to, if you're going to choose architecture, you're going to decide, are you going to describe a tomb or a temple or a monument? Circle which one you're going to describe, and then either in this space or on a regular lined piece of paper, you are going to actually write down what you will be putting in your booklet. You should not be starting your information on your final product, okay? Rough draft, final draft. I'm gonna pause because of the bell. Same thing goes with this. Tell me where you got your information. On your rough draft, on your sloppy copy, you are writing down, I got it from this website. So for me, for architecture, I found that information on coreknowledge.com. And so I wrote it right there. Because if you don't do that, that's called plagiarism. Plagiarism is bad, and you know this. Same thing with this. You're going to name at least 3 differences and 3 similarities. You can draw a Venn diagram, you can do a box Venn diagram, however, you can just write it out in a list. However you are most comfortable explaining 3 similarities between ancient Egyptian tombs, temples, and monuments and modern day tombs, temples, and monuments. Now, if you are just describing a temple, please don't tell me similarities between tombs. Please don't tell me differences between monuments. You are only talking about temples, or you are only talking about tombs, or you are only talking about monuments. Make your life easier. With religion, you need to include the definition of polytheism, is worth 2 points, and include an explanation of what polytheism means. So you're not just going to say polytheism is the belief in many gods. You're also going to put it into your own words and explain what it means to believe in many gods. Then you are going to pick one of the major gods and explain what they're the god of, and describe a scenario in which someone would pray to them and explain why they pray to that specific god. You've already done something like this. use that in the, whoops, it's not gallery walk and vocabulary. I will change that. It is the gallery walk and the religion activity. You're gonna use the gods there to, oh my gosh, my brain farted. You're going to use the information presented there to help you explain what that God was the God of, and to help you figure out a scenario where someone would pray to that God. With trade, you remember our bartering activity where we traded things? You're going to explain how trade helped the Egyptian economy by answering these 3 questions. Again, if you don't have space to write on this paper, get a lined piece of paper. Your teachers have them in their classroom. You may have your own notebook. You have paper. Or if you don't want to talk about architecture or religion or trade, that's fine. You can pick another topic. Some topics that some students mentioned are writing or mummification or pharaohs or just the daily life of ancient Egyptians. If none of these are interesting to you, ask your teacher. I can almost guarantee we're going to say yes, do whatever you want. But when you are doing what you want, you are going to have to describe what you're talking about. So if I chose mummification, I have to describe what mummification is. And I need to explain why mummification is important to ancient Egyptian society. And I also have to tell where I got my information about mummification. Google, friends, is not a source. Google is a search engine, and then you click on the links to get to the sources. And then the last thing you'll do is, if you choose a different thing, is to explain 2 differences and 2 similarities between ancient Egypt and now. In 2020, do we mummify people? Not usually, so that's a difference. In 2020, do we bury people? Often, so that's a similarity. And then 10 points is given to organization, neatness, and spelling. That, my friends, is where your sloppy copy comes in handy. So you make all your mistakes here, and you show no mistakes here. And then an extra 5 points, now this is extra, you do not have to do this, is for color and creativity. If you are super colorful and super creative, then you can earn an extra 5 points. My wonderful human beings, if you need help with anything, please, please, please just ask. Be good people, make good choices. Bye.